Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Excellent. Welcome to Monte Vista High School, the home of the Mustangs. My name is Terry Caney. I am the Community Relations Director for the San Ramon Valley Unified School District, and I would like to welcome you and thank you for attending today's grand community opening of the new Workday Student Center here at Monte Vista High School. First thing we'd like to do is ask everyone to please rise and join us in the national anthem as performed by the Monte Vista High School Chamber Singers under the direction of Director Bruce Colaha. The Monte Vista Chamber Singers, one more round of applause. Mr. Colaha, how many awards have these kids won? How many awards have you won? Probably have to take off your shoes. Yeah. Thank you all for being here. So today is an extremely momentous occasion as it marks the official opening of the greatest public-private partnership and largest single donation to this school and this school district in our entire history. This facility will quickly become the hub of this school community, and I challenge you to find a better facility of its kind at any high school, in fact, any university in the country. Here's what we plan to do today. We want to introduce you to some of the people who were instrumental in the construction and the opening of this amazing facility. We want to provide you with some information about what went into its development. And we want to allow you to experience firsthand the Workday Student Center with tours of the state-of-the-art facility, including the new library, classrooms, study areas, and student cafe. One word would capture, I think, what it has taken to get us to this day, and that is teamwork. I'm reminded of a guy named Stacy King, who was the 1986 first-round draft choice of the Chicago Bulls. In his rookie season, the first month of his season, one game he scored 1 point, not enough to even register in the box score the next day in the newspaper. But a teammate of his, a guy named Michael Jordan, happened to score 69 points that night. So as he's sitting in front of his locker reflecting, and there's hordes of reporters in front of Mr. Jordan, there's one sole reporter that walks up to Stacy King and says, "How does it feel?" And he says, "Well, I'll tell you, I will never forget this night because tonight is the night that Michael and I combined for 70 points. There are many people who have combined and contributed to the completion and opening of this facility in big and small ways. And while we cannot mention them each by name, let's give a round of applause to the people who have helped us get to today. Just a few quick introductions. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. and Mrs. Duffield and the Duffield family. Thank you for being here. Pretty incredible, huh? As part of the Duffield family, wife Cheryl, Amy and her family, Mike and his family, Lori Peak and her family. Amy, thank you all for being here. Steve Hill with Workday, thank you. Mary Shelton, our Superintendent of Schools, is with us. Mayor Arnerich from the town of Danville. I'd like to introduce our school board members who are with us today. Ken Mintz, President of the Board of Education. Rachel Hurd, if you're here, please raise your hand. Denise Jennison, Greg Marvel, and Mark Jewett. There you are. I knew you were here. Thank you all. Give them a round of applause. And to provide us with our official welcome, you thought that was it. No, that's not it. This is it. I'd like to welcome up the Superintendent of Schools, Miss Mary Shelton.
Thank you, Terry. Terry is always a very hard act to follow, so I do welcome you and thank you for coming. We should begin with a huge thank you to the Duffield family, and thank you really doesn't seem adequate. Mr. Dave Duffield, the Workday and the Workday Foundation for funding this absolutely gorgeous student center. It's in its entirety. Certainly the scale, the beauty, the bells and whistles that you will see as you tour make this a top-notch learning facility that would have been beyond the capabilities of our district, frankly, which must stretch our resources to cover 35 and soon 36 sites. This building is truly amazing and will be enjoyed by generations of Monte Vista students to come. It provides a 21st century learning environment with over 18,000 square feet and a mix of active spaces for social interaction and quiet contemplative spaces for group and individual study. A cafe and small study alcoves, as well as 2 project rooms off the main lobby, provide meeting space for groups as well as college counseling sessions. The library upstairs has computer stations, a variety of seating options, and large and small study rooms. And of course, you can't miss the Jumbotron behind me on the side of the building. Again, just amazing resources for the students and staff at Monte Vista. I want to thank especially the staff, Principal Janet Terranova, John Paul Ballou, Librarian Dolores Fable, and the staff at Monte Vista for their patience during this construction. And thank you to Gary Black, our Assistant Superintendent for Facilities and Maintenance, Rich Lowell, and Project Manager John Forkey for an amazing job. We appreciate the efforts of Steinberg Architects and Block Construction. Thank you to Technology Director Laurel Kursick and former Technology Director Bruce Chimleski and their staffs for their assistance. And finally, a huge thank you to the students who have endured a campus under construction for quite some time. But I think they will agree that it was worth the wait. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Mary. I didn't realize it was, my goodness. If I have something in my teeth, just let me know, okay? Chief Price? Yeah. All right. Our first presenter I'd like to welcome up to the podium is the President of the Board of Education, Mr. Ken Mintz.
Thank you, Terry. Good afternoon. I'm honored to be here representing my fellow board members at the podium for today's ceremony. Please don't hold my remarks against any of them. In preparing for today's ribbon cutting, I did what anyone does when they have the opportunity to speak before a crowd, and that's I went online and I looked for appropriate quotes. My favorite was from children's author Joan Bauer, who indicated that her grandmother always said that God created libraries so people didn't have any excuse to be stupid. Well, we love our libraries here in the San Ramon Valley, so I know that's not going to be an issue. but it's still nice to finally open up this beautiful new facility that's been needed for quite some time here on this campus. With the onset of the Common Core standards, the Student Center couldn't have come at a more opportune time. With the Common Core focus on building critical thinking and collaboration skills, our students need space not only to utilize the library materials and technology resources for study and research, but also the types of spaces that will allow for thoughtful dialogue to put that content into the context of a 21st century world. The mixture of library, classrooms, and open seating will provide a much improved environment for that to occur. Albert Einstein once said that the only thing you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. I recently had a conversation with a Monte Vista grad who was a little embarrassed to let me know that it was well into her studies before she knew where the library, the old library, was here on campus. Well, with this new student center, that will never again be a question. With its interior design features, unique architecture, and wonderful landscaping, it is a true gift to the Monte Vista campus that you'd be, as Terry said earlier, hard-pressed to find on any high school anywhere across this country. And while we cannot say thank you enough to the Duffield family and to Workday for their generosity, I hope they recognize that the true thanks is in knowing that with this facility, they have made a major contribution to the educational experience of thousands of students now and well into the future. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, you guys. Nicely done. Our next presenter is the Mayor of Danville. Please welcome Mr. Newell Arneridge.
Good afternoon. I am so proud to be here to represent the community and talk about community partnerships. And the word community starts in a lot of different ways, not only with somebody as generous as the Duffield family, and that's a significant community partnership, but it starts with each of us as individuals, as parents, as students. That partnership starts with making a commitment to live here, to put your children in our schools here, a commitment to be part of the family and the community here, that is the school district itself, our community volunteers and Matt and Rachel and Greg and Ken. Community partnerships are what make us as a people when we realize that we need each other for something. And I know as young students we find that with social media and things like that, we kind of find ourselves sometimes isolated. And symbolically, part of what this building does here, an infill project built in the middle of this campus, is to bring together students and this idea that we're one community and that we do need each other. And while we might not realize it now, we will in the future. And to us that are a little bit older, we need you a lot because you're going to save the world for us. And we expect you to do that. And it's interesting when I see some of the students and parents sitting here. Not only did Steinberg Associates do a great job as architects, but I'm going to guess that David Gates must have been the landscape architect, because this is a interactive space. We have a tendency to see trees and we look at them. This is involving and immersing yourself into architecture and landscape architecture. But community partnerships come at various levels, and each of us have a commitment. In fact, we have a duty to be a partner in our community, to make it as best we can. And we were very honored to have Dave Duffield and his family for not just this project, for many things here, and the successes that he has built 4 very successful companies. Being Workday today, by the way, whose stock has nearly doubled in the past 12 months. But it is really a extraordinary partnership to see somebody who's so committed to schools and to public education. And we all have ways that we can do things elsewhere, but I think this is really demonstrating that it does make a difference, that public education and the commitment to the public and to each other, to our students, is an important value in how we create what we call community. So on behalf of the town of Danby, clearly on behalf of the school district, but as parents, and to all of us, and those who you will never meet, you'll never see all the children, because a building like this will be here when we're all gone. And in fact, she will be old enough to be standing here one day saying, I remember when my dad did this, or my granddad. And we are pretty excited. Of course, she wants to cut the ribbon with those scissors. But we're really excited to know that this building will be here to change lives and bring together those young students over the next decades, and hopefully find those connections, and one day that you will come back as a student and make a difference in your own community. So on behalf of the community, Dave, to you and your family, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Thank you very much.
I so appreciate their working around our schedule and our student needs. Not an easy task with 2,200 students and 2,200 needs, but thank you. John Forkey, District Project Manager for the Student Center, and John Paul Ballou, our Assistant Principal, who worked closely on this project. Thank you to the students who contributed to the design of the building, the grounds, and the furniture, as well as their patience during construction. This building is well worth the year of crowded halls, crowded parking, and limited eating spaces. This is an amazing building that will truly transform the way students learn, work, and collaborate. This building, with the technology and the design, is beyond belief and way beyond the dreams of most high schools. But Monte Vista received additional gifts of time and resources. If somehow this building miraculously plopped itself on our campus 2 years ago, it would not have nearly had the impact that it has today. Once again, we owe Workday and the Duffield family a huge thank you. When this project started, Workday funded a teacher on special assignment who was challenged with helping teachers learn to infuse technology into their curriculum. Not, oh, let me use technology today in my lesson plans, but rather organic lessons using technology to simulate the workplace. In the past 2 years, our students and staff have gained not only knowledge, but confidence to use technology as a true learning. She's so cute, how can you be sorry? So in addition to our TSA, Workday also funds a computer instructional assistant who works in classrooms to help ensure that the technology really works, and now will be working out of the Student Center to help students with any of their technology needs. Thank you so much, not only for the building, but the gift of time and resources. This is truly a student center. You saw it with the band, with our cheerleaders, with our choir, with the students working the Jumbotron, but you're also going to see it when you walk into the building, because if you look around the walls, you will see student art. All of the artwork is student work, including the dance and the drama posters that were designed by students. We are fortunate to have such amazing and talented students, and you just saw a little bit of them today. Many thanks to the National Honor Society Club and Diana Govnick, their advisor, for gathering the artwork and spending hours staging our artists. Okay, it's time we continue to move on. So I'm going to turn this back to Terry, and thank you very much for being here.
Did everybody meet Mackenzie? Everybody say hi, Mackenzie. I'm sorry, I just got a text. Apparently the power is out in the building. We're going to have to cancel the tours today. But thanks everybody for coming. Drive safe. And without further ado, I would like to invite up the person representing the family Workday organization who is responsible for this amazing facility, who is going to provide us with a few comments. Mr. Duffield, would you like to come up? Dave Duffield.
I'm going to be briefer than Janet Terranova. But I think we next need a drama department for this little one. This is my daughter, by the way, not my granddaughter. Just very briefly, it's a pleasure to be here. Cheryl and I are particularly pleased to be able to help make a great high school even greater. This place is for the students, as I think you know, a place to socialize, to study, to hang out, to watch a show on the Jumbotron, to have a snack inside, and to actually to help experience a college setting. You don't get quite the time or opportunity, to really appreciate a college environment, which I believe this is. And when the kids graduate from college, the only thing I ask for is that you give consideration to a career at Workday. This is really a self-serving venture. No, I'm kidding. But again, this is for the students, and I have to tell you, I'm like the students, just a little bit bummed that we don't have a Starbucks. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, are we ready? How about in 5? Help me out. 4,